Well, the pressure is creeping in now. So you're at the low point of the day for the market. The Sensex is down about 200 odd points. And even the Nifty, it's given up on the 10,700 mark fairly swiftly, you'd have to say. It's the metal stocks that are falling now. So Tata Steel is at the low point. Hindalco is down about 5 odd %. JSW Steel is under a lot of pressure. Not looking too good. I guess it wouldn't hurt us if we check what's happening with global markets, because a lot of Asian markets have been under pressure. Perhaps, the European futures have also indicated that the start would be on the weaker side. As you can see, Hong Kong down almost about 500 points. We have been moving in tandem with a lot of the global markets. But let's talk about some stocks in the news now. Anisha is here to give us a roundup of all the stocks that are buzzing in the news today. Anisha, over to you.
First up, I'll start with GMR Infrastructure. Now, that one is trading higher given the fact that AERA, which is the Airports Regulatory Authority of India, has given them the allowance to charge a basic airport duty of around 10%. So that comes as a positive. This is effective December 1st. Remember, this has been a long-drawn battle. The company has been fighting for over 6 years. So yes, a bit of relief coming in. Remember, GMR holds around 64% when it comes to the tele-airport business. Moving on to Oil India, wherein the company has approved a buyback of around 5 crore shares at a price of 215. As far as the acceptance ratio goes, if the promoters participate, the acceptance ratio is expected to be around 4.5%. If they do not participate, the acceptance ratio can jump up to around 6.6%. Moving on and talking about Jet Airways, because that stock has been really volatile of late. Now, today we understand the pilots are supposed to meet the management, so that is something that we are tracking as of now. Separately, there were some statements that came in from Jet Airways CEO, wherein they talked about getting a sustainable financing for the company to navigate through the tough times. They have been talking about some turnaround and the fact that they have done a savings of around 500 crores in the first half of the year. So that is something to keep an eye out on. And lastly, Gayatri Projects, well, they have been declared lowest bidder for one of the projects of around 160 crores in Telangana. So that one also is in focus. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Anisha, for getting us all those details. But the big stock focus for us today is definitely Yes Bank. It's touching the low point of the day and creating new lows actually for a very long time. Almost 6% down, has got a real pounding, and the board sees its third resignation in a week. And we understand from sources that discomfort over handling of recent developments at the bank led to R. Chandrasekhar's exit. Ritu Singh, who earlier broke the story yesterday, is now here with more details. Tell us, Ritu.
Well, yes, the spate of resignations at Yes Bank from its board have been worrying, and which is why the stock has been reeling under pressure. Now, the statement made to exchanges yesterday said that Mr. R. Chandrasekhar had resigned due to personal reasons, but that is not what we've gathered from our sources, who insist that in his resignation letter to the management, R. Chandrasekhar has said that he was deeply concerned surrounding some recent events at the bank and dismayed at the way that the bank has handled these recent events. Also, he expressed his concerns that the current environment was not really conducive for him to continue serving as the independent director on the board of Yes Bank. Now, what exactly are these concerns? From the sources that we've spoken to, it seems that from the time that the RBI first sent that letter to Yes Bank, cutting short the tenure of its CEO Rana Kapoor, there have been differences between some of the board members and the management over the entire transition process, whether it was, seeking an extension for Rana Kapoor or the process of selection of a new CEO itself. Various points of friction had emerged between some of the board members and Rana Kapoor. That could have played a part in it. Also, the circumstances under which two of the other board members recently resigned, including Ashok Chawla and Vasant Gujarati, have also been a matter of worry for R. Chandrasekhar, as per our sources, as well as OP Bhatt's resignation, which is why he may have likely put in his papers as well. Also, to remember, do note, Rana Kapoor had asked Chandrasekhar to reconsider his resignation, but that request was declined by R. Chandrasekhar, who put in his papers yesterday.
Okay, Ritu, since you are with us, JP Infra is actually moving up with quite a bit of strength. We understand that the resolution professional has got 5 expressions of interest, including Suraksha, ARC and Kotak Investment for JP Infra. What are the details that you're gathering?
Well, absolutely. 5 expressions of interest have been received, and 4 of these are the same as what JP Infra had received the last time around as well. So Suraksha ARC, that was actually the highest bidder in the last round. They have again put in their bid, as have Kotak Realty, Cube Highways, and L&T. Do understand the new entrant this time around is NBCC, who also earlier to CNBC TV 18 in an interview had confirmed that it had in fact submitted this expression of interest. But do remember, last time around the concerns were regarding the valuation received from some of these bidders, which is why the lenders could not come to a conclusion, and Suraksha ARC's offer did not get the adequate 66% of votes, which is why it there were chances of the company going into liquidation, and the Supreme Court thereby restarted the entire process. And this is the second time around that bids have been invited. An important disclosure also coming in from JP Infra is that all of these 5 expressions of interest that have been submitted are for the Yamuna Expressway and not for the land parcels surrounding that expressway. Do remember, the land owned by JP Infra is actually one of the key attractions why a lot of interest was seen by the bidders in the earlier round itself. So this time around, it remains to be seen what the valuation for some of these bids that have been submitted is. We understand that the meeting of the Committee of Creditors will also take place very soon to examine these EOIs.
All right, Ritu, thanks so much for getting us all those details. So now the resolution plan, and for that expression of interest has come in only for Yamuna Expressway and not for the land parcels, remember. Now moving on, in a bid to cap the losses and ensure effective asset utilization, well, ride-hailing app Ola Cabs is working on a strategy to capture the buzzing online grocery market. We learned that the company will begin its grocery pilot in Bangalore in January and is talking to several players to strike alliances. Priya Sheth gets us those exclusive details. Tell us, Priya.
Well, absolutely. After Amazon and Flipkart, we understand that Ola is planning a big bang foray into the grocery segment. Now, we have the details as far as the whole grocery blueprint is concerned. We understand that Ola Cabs will be launching the groceries project in Bangalore in January. This is going to be started as a pilot before being rolled out into other cities in India. We also do understand that the business will be integrated with the Food Panda app. But do remember that Ola had acquired Food Panda in December 2017. So this will be integrated in the Ola app itself under a separate groceries segment. Now, at this point in time, we understand that Ola is speaking to several wholesalers as well as modern trade retailers to establish some sort of deal that they could, benefit as far as the margins are concerned. So these margins are being finalized at this point in time. But it's interesting to know that the first phase of the grocery rollout will contain non-perishables, and then they perhaps may move into the vegetables and fruits segment, but that could happen at a much later date. Now, at this point in time, the stores will serve as pickup points for several of these grocery outlets, and they are in the process of hiring several delivery boys under Food Panda. So this is a space that we will continue to watch, and we did reach out to Ola, and the company refused to comment as far as our query is concerned.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that, actually, ordering groceries on the Ola app. I mean, how much easier is it going to get, right? Just with one click, not only can you travel, but you can order your groceries as well. Thanks, Priya, for giving us that news flow. Let's take a short break on that note, but when we come back, as the states go into the assembly polls, we will get you key highlights from the ground when we return. Stay tuned.